Hello, everyone. Good evening and happy Democracy Day. It's great to be here once again on yet another interesting segment of Life Essential Talk, where we talk about marriage, parenting, family relationship, and basic life lessons. I remain your host, Uche Chukwuma, and with me today is my co-host, Clare Ohunayo.
Good evening, listeners. Glad to be here.
Yeah, glad to have you back. Okay, last week episodes were quite interesting. We had engaging talk on mistakes, men making marriage, as well as marriage and will. We had very interesting. We had very engaging and intelligent guests that did justice to those topics. Well, today we have another great topic, which is empowering women through skills acquisition. Sure to be very engaging. And we have a wonderful guest that will tell us all we need to know. Meanwhile, let's take a short break, and when we return, we dive right into the day's conversation. Don't touch that dial. Yeah, Wumbalumbo there. Well, welcome back to Life Essential Talk on Radio Maria, the voice of truth. Now it's time to introduce our very beautiful guest, Lady Stella Akomolafe. Lady Stella works at National Identity Management Commission, but you know one beautiful thing? She's a fashion designer, she's a baker, and an event planner. She will tell us all we need to know about empowering women through skills acquisition. Well, Lady Sarah, it's so great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Yes, so nice to have you here. So, we know that there are some other ways women can be empowered, but today we're going to talk about empowering women through skill acquisition. So, help us to understand what the skill acquisition is all about.
Yeah, thank you. It's my great pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you for the opportunity. Skill acquisition, I'll start. What is a skill?
Yes.
What is a skill? According to Oxford Dictionary, is an ability for one is an ability to use knowledge, practice to do something well.
Okay.
Your knowledge, your practice, what you know how to do and to do it well. That is a skill.
Okay.
It's also a talent or ability that comes from training or practice. Skill, sometimes you don't need any formal education to get a skill.
Okay.
As I'll be talking, I'll use myself as an example. Like you mentioned, there's so many things I can do.
Yes, truly.
I decorate,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a bidder.
Yes.
So most of all these things, I didn't really go to school to learn them. Let me start from decorations.
Okay.
I grew up with Reverend sisters.
Oh, wow.
I lived with them where we decorated altar. In other dioceses, Immaculate Heart Sisters, they were the one handling most of events. And they go there to decorate and go with them. I used to go with them. So from there, I learned how to decorate. So when I got to school, I was not using it to make money. Planning events. When I went to school, when I got to school, I was in 200 level. I was made the chairperson organizing committee, NFCS. It was a huge start for me.
Okay.
I never knew that I'll be able to do it. But to God be the glory, I did very well. And that really gave me motivation to go into event planning. So that, all this, I didn't go to school to learn them. Just gradual practice. And skill I usually acquire or learn, like I had said earlier. Then skill like hairdressing, baking. I'm a baker, I bake.
Truly.
Barbing is a skill.
You know how to do that too?
Of course, I barb.
Yes,
I barb my
yeah,
children
I
hair.
think I've oh, it's true.
I barb my husband hair.
Oh,
You will never see
wonderful.
him.
Wonderful.
About my children hair. So actually I learned that during COVID.
Okay.
Because during COVID, my children, the way their hair is
Yes.
once they didn't comb it, it was kind of, I was not liking it, and there's no baby salon around. So okay now, I pick clipper, and up till now, I'm still barbing their hair and my husband hair too. Yeah. So fashion designing, baking, like I said earlier, photography, those are the skills. So many skills out there. Then skill acquisition. What is it? Skill acquisition is the act of learning to do something in order to earn a living. But most of these skills, when I learned them, it's not for that purpose, because I had passion for it.
That's one important thing.
I had passion for it. Like when I learned beading, then I was in Lagos. Bead was the ill thing then. If you are going out, if at gold, you cannot, people wearing gold cannot even stand beside you, even though it's more expensive. So, and I love fashion. So it's okay, let me dive into this. That was the first skill that I learned. I paid to learn beading.
Okay.
Then I said, okay, let me use this to make money to support my little income while I was in Lagos. And how did I come about baking? I learned baking not initially then, not to for the business aspect of it. No. I love anything that have to do with food. I just love it. Another thing what I learned was that I have friends, they want to celebrate birthday. I'm like, what will I give them to buy this? And I can be making cake for them, the children's birthday. So that's how I started making cake, not for commercial purpose. So that was how I started that. And then tailoring, fashion. Like I said, I love fashion. Like, I need to, and there was no time. You see, when you set up your mind that this thing you want to do it, no time. I was working in Lagos Monday to Saturday. I'll go in the morning, come back in the evening. I have my little boy to take care of. I have my own front, and I wanted to learn that tailoring. Got so good, I saw one lady that was willing to teach me. So she was coming to my house Sundays to teach me tailoring. So that was how I started.
Okay. Oh, that's nice. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Lady
Oh.
Stella, you're a virtuous woman indeed.
Honestly. I don't even know what to say again. All right. So now you have told us those skills. You have said a lot about skill acquisition. Can you tell us the importance of acquiring skills?
Wow.
Now we are talking about women now.
Women.
So tell us the importance of women acquiring skills.
The importance of skill acquisition cannot be overemphasized. It's if I start the importance for the whole of 1 hour.
Let's have them so that
Not
we
enough.
convince women.
But I'll make it brief. One, it helps in actualizing dreams. Like, this is what I want. And when you go to acquire that skill, it will help you. Some of us, we are scared. We have fear in us. If I go to learn, will I know it? Will I be able to learn it? That kind of a thing. We allow fear to take the better part of us. So we kind of relent, not actualizing our dreams. Fear is one thing. And again, it helps those that have certificate, those that went to school, and unfortunately the job is nowhere. You understand? So it will help. Like, before I got this job, I was using all this to make money. So if you don't, it's not everybody that government to give that job to.
Yes.
Not everybody. But the little, that skill No, whatever you learn with your hands, it will fetch you so much if you know how to do it and you know how to go about it very well. Another thing is self-reliance. You don't need to depend on anybody to survive. Since you have something to do with your hands, you have something to do. You don't need to start waiting for your uncle, for your aunties. Some students in school, they are doing all these things
Yes.
to make money for themselves.
Themselves.
Some hardly call home because what they can do. And also it provides service for other people. Like in my fashion house, I have people that I employ to sew for me. We have some bakers, we have people that work for them. So if acquire this skill, you'll be able to employ people.
Exactly.
In fact, you know, there's so many people out there looking for jobs.
Yes.
So many of them. But if you, in your own capacity, you're able to employ 2, you're able to employ 3, by so do you have reduced unemployment by so doing. And then like what I read said earlier, employment generation. Then crime reduction. Crime reduction. You know, some people, because they don't have what to do and they need to survive, they're like, go to crime. But if you are able to provide employment, if you yourself you are skilled, there won't be any need for going into crime. And again, it helps to integrate wherever you find yourself. Wherever you find yourself, you will be able to integrate. Like when I started this my job, it will have been so difficult for me, but because I've helped myself to acquire some skills, I've gone around, I've met so many people along the line. So going out there it wasn't difficult. It helped me to integrate as if I've been working
All this
all.
while.
That is it.
Oh, but you have been working. All right, so let's take a musical break to resume in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, dear listeners, to the talk show Life Essential Talk on Radio Maria 91.3. We're still on our discussion about empowering women through skills acquisition with Lady Stella Akomolafe. Okay, so Lady Stella, you have told us a whole lot about what skills acquisition is. That's the meaning of skill acquisition. You have also told us some importance of skill acquisition, of acquiring skills. So let's hear more of those importance of acquiring skills before we go into the profitable skills that women can go for.
Yeah, like Riley said, another important is effective function. You'll be able to function wherever in a home.
In a home.
In a home, you'll be able to function very well. Like sometimes, if I know many times I've repaired our plumbing in the house. When I realize that the toilet is not working because I just love to do something
You
with my
use
hand.
your hands all the
I'll
time.
just- Like my first son said, my mom can fix everything in the house.
Wow.
My mom can fix anything. Even if it's what to go and give my mom, she can fix it. You understand? And the children will learn from you. I have them all sons, but still, I still make them to realize that you can do so many things with your hand. Before I will call a plumber, before I will call a carpenter, I think I must have tried. Even there was a day a friend saw me fixing car, changing battery. No, because all this knowledge, they are all interwoven.
Exactly.
If you can do this, the knowledge you have on this one, you'll be able to use it on another thing. So it's when you have all these skills, it will help. I remember when we were in school, I used to make my hair myself. I'll just sit, I'll just make the hair, that kind of a thing. So it's of great importance and it has really helped me a lot.
Wow.
A lot.
What can I say? Excellent woman. Is that not so, Claire?
Yes, so
All right. So you mentioned a whole lot of skills. So what are those profitable skills, from your experience, that women can go for?
You say profitable. There's no skill that is not profitable.
Okay.
There's no skill. Let me start with this. When I started making bid, you cannot do bidding and you run at a loss. It's not possible.
Really?
You cannot. If somebody makes bid and say, there's no gain, this tell the person that I say is a lie.
Oh.
You cannot do bid and you run at a loss. It's very, very profitable. But there is a clause.
Okay.
When bid was in vogue, everybody bid. But now, when you notice, it has really
It has gone down.
gone down.
Yes.
Like when I used to buy my bid accessories, when you get them 1 hour, they are yet to attend to you because of crowd. You understand? But now when you go there, they'll just attend to you go because the demand
is not.
is no more there.
Yes.
You understand? The demand is no more there. But now when you look at fashion, clothing, bids is now in clothing. You see people bidding their clothes. You understand? Their dresses, to bid it. So one thing is, if you are into a particular business or a skill and you realize that this thing is going small, you look for plan B. Now let's look at cake, for example. Nearly everybody bakes.
True.
You say, you are doing your wedding, let me bake for you. The wife's sister, the wife's cousin, you know, that kind of a thing. At your birthday, I'll do your cake. My sister just learned how to do bake. Either is good or not. Everybody, you understand? Now when you realize that, you know, okay, what is the next thing can I add? Okay, small chops. You understand? So there's no skill that is not profitable. You just have to be wise about it. Now, cake, many people are doing cake. Those days, in a week, I must do 2-3 cakes. Sometimes every day, to as if they send them every day baking. But now, 2 weeks now, nobody asks for cake. You understand? So, if cake is not forthcoming, what other things around it? Small chops. Puff is there, meat pie is there. And flour, if you do flour business, you understand, it's very, very lucrative. There's no business that is not lucrative. Just you have to be wise in doing it. And you have to be creative.
Exactly. You have to be creative.
You have to be
make
creative.
it different from
Other people.
Yes.
You have to be unique in whatever you are doing. You have to be unique.
Okay. So you mentioned, okay, what about tailoring?
Tailoring is very, very lucrative. It is. But not this Abuja. You know, Abuja is tailoring is very, very lucrative. But like I said, you see tailoring shops here and there, but that does not mean that people wear clothes every day. If as some people, there is actually every now and then. Actually, some people know that there's actually because they see one particular style. I love this style. They go and buy material and give you. You know, fashion is ill thing now. Fashion is everybody wants to come out in style.
Good, yes.
So fashion designing is very, very good. It has been, it is, and it will be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what about fish farming?
Yeah, fish farming too is very, very lucrative. I've not been
You're not very conversant with that.
yes, I've not. But people that I wanted to, people describe it, no, it's good though, but if you see the other side of it, you will not like yourself, you know, that kind of a thing. But at least I want to do small, not for commercial though, just
Okay,
more
for yourself.
for myself. But I've not really gone into that.
Okay. I also, it just got to me that some of these skills you can still acquire them to help yourself too.
Of course.
Like tailoring, if you know how to
Yes.
sew, you will be able to save money.
Now let me talk on that. I don't buy soap. Apart from bathing soap, I don't buy soap. I make my soap myself. So there's some things that you learn, not for commercial purpose, but for you to reduce your spending. Like what I said, when I learned cake then, so that instead of me buying gift of 5,000, and then with 2,000 you make cake. Then that's 12, 15 years ago. With 2,000 naira, you make a very good cake. You understand? But not now. That 2,000 never buy flour. You understand? So I said, okay, so I'll be buying gift of 5,000. I'll just make the cake and present, and they will really appreciate it. So there's some things that you learn, like sewing. I learned sewing just for myself alone. I never knew that it would be this big. When I learned sewing, I said, let me just learn for me and my family. But when I came to Abuja, that when I left Abuja, when I left Lagos, coming to Abuja, I had this notion that when you get to Abuja, you'll be picking chops on the floor. You understand? When you come to Abuja, just tell them this is where I want to work, and it's all yours. But when I came to Abuja now, no job. First year, second year, third year, fourth year, like, Stella, you have to do things. You can't continue like this. And that's how I started using what I know how to do to earn a living.
Okay, what did you study in school?
I studied microbiology.
Can you imagine? So that means interest, passion is very, very important.
Let me tell you one thing. When I resumed my job in NIMSI, so I had to report to the director. So when she was asking me, I said, hey, what did you study? I said, I studied microbiology. Hey, microbiology. Hey, our clinic, we need lab scientists. I just looked at this and I said, Madam, you don't miss road though. I said, Ma, please, since I left school, I've never practiced. I said, if you ask me to measure microorganisms, I will give you 50 as I'm standing here, but
I mean too.
The only test I say I can't do any test. Okay, we'll do this test. No. But only pregnancy test.
Because you have to go into other things, skills. Since the job was not forthcoming, so you now digress.
I told her, and she reasoned with me, because if she forced me there, I will not be productive.
Okay.
Because the interest I've lost the interest many years ago.
But you have interest now.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Claire, did I tell you I went into Taylor and I ran out?
Oh wow!
She was
Interesting.
I ran out.
Interesting. Why?
I tried. That's what I'm saying. Interest, passion, very important. I still have my machine at home.
I can actually sew.
Really? Oh, that's nice.
I don't sew. That's just it.
Okay. All right. So
I learned how to sew properly.
Okay. So let's give us an idea. Assuming you want to start. Let's say you want to go into. Let me start with tailoring, fashion designing. You have that interest. How can you go about it?
First thing is what you said, interest.
Interest, number one.
Interest must be there. And determination.
Number two.
Passion.
Three.
You must have passion for it. If you have those three, you are good to go. Because no job comes easy. There's nothing you want to learn that it comes easy. But if you have passion and you determine that this thing, I want to learn it, you are good to go. You are good to go. And what will you do? You learn. You register. You register. You have you look for any fashion house. Go there. You register.
The registration fee, is it normally much?
It depends.
Okay, where
you go to. Where you go to. It depends where you go to, and it depends who wants to. So like, okay. And how much do you have? Okay, let me assist. Some will be held bent. It has to be this. The price is not cheap. I must say it's not that cheap.
It's affordable.
But it's affordable.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So okay, that's nice. So when you get into it, you start. Do you need to have a sewing machine at home?
Of course, you need to. You need to. All my students, I always encourage them, get a sewing machine at home, so that when you're at home, you just practice. And like what I tell them, buy manual first.
Okay.
Everybody wants industrial, but because of our life, the electricity issue, you might be sewing clothes, that thing will be interesting. Sometimes when you are doing things and you are getting it, you'll be happy you are doing it. Boom, paper takes light.
You won't know what to do
again. So I always advise, except if you can afford it, and you have light 247, good. But start with manner. So even NEPA decide to take their light, you go ahead with whatever you are doing.
Listeners, I hope you're having a wonderful time with us. Welcome back to the talk show, Life Essential Talk on Radio Maria, the voice of truth. Still on our discussion about empowering women through skill acquisition with Lady Stella Akomolafe. Okay, the phone line is open now. We're gonna open the phone line, so you call us on 081 084 47518. 081 084 47518. Let's have your questions, let's have your contributions, let's have your experiences. You can send SMS or messages via WhatsApp. Expecting your call. Okay, so Lady Stella, tell us more. Tell us more about starting up something. You have given us an idea of how to go into tailoring, baking. What about the event um, management,
Yes.
right? That you talked about.
Same thing goes for event management. You need to learn. Like I said, I did not go for any formal training.
Yes.
I built myself with it. I started while in school, and I learned on the job. But if you like, okay, this is what I want to go to, and you didn't have that opportunity to learn it, you understand? So it's better you go to any organization or any company that are into it to learn more.
All right. Must it be organization? Can you learn from you?
Of course,
Assuming, can one learn from a single? Is it something that one can learn from a single person?
of course, it is.
Okay.
It is. If you know somebody that is into that event planning, I just go and, please, I want to go into event planning. Please help me.
Okay.
Like ways of starting certain skill, you need to have a mentor.
Start in everything.
You need to have a mentor,
Yes.
and choose wisely. Your mentor can make you and can marry you.
Really.
You understand? So you need to choose wisely. Like in baking, I have a mentor, Madam Nid. I'm always proud of her. You know, when I came to Abuja, clueless. I don't know what to do. I'm hyperactive.
Okay. You
I-
are.
I'm hyperactive. So I don't like being idle, doing nothing. So I saw her advert. I said, okay, let me just go. And since I've been with her, I've really learned a lot. I joined her to empower women. Yes, we empower women every month. And every year we have a program which we organize every year. 5 days, 1 week program to empower women. And we follow them up. Because we realize that when you empower people, when you make some people happy, it is a plus to you. Some people will not want to do that. So that's what we do. We are a group of women. We empower every Wednesday, first Wednesday. We have a training. Then when December we have a whole week program where we empower women, and we've had so many testimonies. So you have a mentor. Then, like I said, you register to learn. Another thing is break down your skill ability.
Okay.
Know what you can do. You say, hey, Sister Uche, she's a presenter. Me too, I can do. You understand?
Yeah.
But you need to check yourself. Do you have that
No.
accent? Do you have that skill? You don't just jump into it. You check your ability. What can I do? But though some people still get it wrong. Akomolafe is doing this. Me, I cannot do it. So no. She have a magic car. I don't have it. Have you tried it? If you can or if you cannot. But still check your ability. What can you do? Not that because also person is doing it and the person is striving, bam, you jump into it. You check yourself. Can I do it? Like, you can try. If you see that this thing is not working, like Baby that I said, I never knew that I would be able
To do that.
to do that. But all thanks to COVID, I now back my children's hair, back my husband's hair. Then, like I said, identify your potential barrier. What do you think? That okay, I want to do this. One, finance. okay, you want to do this one, but the money is not there. And some people, most of us, we get it wrong. You want to, I know someone who is into baking, went to go and she rented a big shop, see machines, and she doesn't know anything about this because she have the money. So okay, at the end of the day, the whole thing did what? Pack up. So you check again, time. Do you have the time to go into this? You will check it. So that
So,
you
so sorry to cut in here, but so what you're saying is you must have an idea. Okay, assuming just like the person you mentioned now, I think baking, right?
mm,
Okay, so you must have an idea of baking
of
for
course,
you to go into it, not
it.
just starting up
No,
a
no, no,
business
no.
that you have no idea
Idea.
of.
No, 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 no. Any business you want to do, you must have idea of it. You must know it. You might not be perfect though, but you must know it because if you employ people, they will just rubbish your work. And because like now, like I said, I have people working for me. I gave a dress to a guy, and he messed it up. I just picked it, and he was just looking at me. I had to correct the mistake he made. I didn't have
Any
yeah.
idea?
I was like, what will I tell this customer? What will I, you know that kind of a thing. And I had to fix the dress myself. So you must know what you are doing. You must know what you want to do. You must
Have
have
an idea
an idea
of.
before you start such business.
Okay, that's nice. Let's remind our
And again,
Okay.
you focus one skill at a time. You know, I just explained how I started. I can do so many things, but I did not start everything at once.
Okay.
I started decorating while in secondary school because I was staying with Reverend sisters. So that's how I started, and I was doing it. I built on it. When I entered university, event planning, because they made me NFCS a chairman planning committee, and I do it with passion. I love doing it. Anything I have to do with planning, organizing, I will do it. So it's about, I want to do my wedding, help me, you know, that kind of a thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I do it. So you need to put all those things into consideration. And as time goes by, I realized that I cannot be doing everything. But then I had no job, nothing. I was sit at home wife, so I was doing all these things. But when I realized that dresses were coming left, center, bake, cake, I was like, no, I cannot do all these things.
Everything, yes.
Yeah, so I now sat down. All these things I'm doing, which and which do I want to focus on?
Exactly.
Which and which? I look at bead. Not then bead was still in vogue, but bead, it requires, you can sit for like 1 hour making a bead, 2 hours, in fact a whole day you be making bead. What can I combine with this bead? I looked at it. Cake. Then I look at event. Event is once in a while. Say no, not event. It took me a while because I had to sit down, the way jobs were coming in. So like, and I stream everything to baking and fashion designing. So I stopped bead. I was just doing it for myself. And after let me say it crashed. Beading now crashed. You understand? But you know, I can still combine beading and fashion designing. Baking and fashion designing. While I'm mixing my cake, I'll be sewing. The cake is there mixing. When I'm done with that, if I'm baking, the cake is in the oven. I can continue sewing. So I realized that these two, I can match them. So every other thing, I just drop the decoration. I'll do decoration only in the church. If you have a program, okay, come and do decoration for us. I'll do it. But for business, I stopped it. And why I stopped it is one, if you want to go into event decoration, you need space to pack your stuff. But I don't have that space. So people had to rent a whole building to pack their stuff. I don't have that. So I don't care, I beg. Let me just leave this one. So that's why I stopped decoration. But in church, I do it.
Okay. So, like I was saying, you want to go into baking now. do you need, what are the things you need? You're
Yeah.
starting, not now, not, how will I put it now, not as a professional. You're just starting. What are the things you need?
As tools,
Exactly, yes, as tools. What are those things you need as a starter?
as a starter,
Yes.
of course, need a baking pan.
Okay.
In cake baking, you can improvise. When it comes to decorations, you can improvise. But baking, you cannot. You need a baking pan. You need a baking pan. You need your mixer. But if you have turning stick, I started with turning stick. So you can, if you don't have, with when it comes to cake baking, you don't need too much capital.
Okay.
You don't need too much capital. Even though you don't have oven, you can use stove. Many people started using stove,
Stove. I
you
know
can use
of that.
stove,
Yes.
but you cannot compromise your baking pan. Of course, you need it. And what else? The
So
cake
you can still
decorations,
use your stove and get something good.
something good. I started with stove. And what again in decoration? You need your maybe piping tools. Thank you, Raymond. If you listen to me when I started, how I started sewing, I was working in Lagos Monday to Sunday. Sometimes I come back very late in the night, and I had passion for it. There's some fashion houses that they have uh, weekend classes. She can enroll in weekend class, but one thing she must do is let her have a sewing machine at home. It's very, very important. And since she's learning there, she can still go to YouTube and check some things there as well.
Okay. Okay. That answers that question. All right now. Okay. So, like I was saying, I think we were talking about catering.
Yeah.
So I was asking if, you mentioned those skills that one can acquire with
Yeah, with little or no capital.
Yes.
Like this beading. You know, some things you need to start them. People will see you doing it. I like this bead, make it for me. It will cost you 10,000. You can deposit 5,000.
Okay.
It's with that 5,000 you go and buy your material.
Hmm.
If you make a fascinator, somebody, I love this fascinator, you make it for me, it will cost you 10,000. You make a deposit. It's with that money you go and buy your material. So there's some skill that you start with little or no capital. Even with this baking stuff, like somebody came to one of my students saw my baking, so say, hey, when will I have all these tools? I said, my dear, all these things, it's gradually. I didn't acquire all these things in 1 year, not even in 2 years, not even in 3 years. It's just gradually. So like baking now, you can start with little capital. Maybe you have learned how to do it and you are doing it gradually. Thank God there's social media. It's not everything that you need to go and rent shop. There's social media, you post it. I love this cake.
Yes.
You make
I
it
use
for me.
social media.
Okay, it's 20,000. You make a deposit of 10,000. It's with that 10,000 naira, you buy things that you need.
I still have your game.
And you still have your gain. If at all you don't have much gain, at least you've acquired some tools
Okay.
with that
So
money.
you can still use.
Now you can
again.
still use it over and over again. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you're still using them. But you can get it from 2 customers.
Wow.
You can get them from 2 customers. So once this person paid, oh, make this cake for me, you collect your 20,000 naira. Maybe you can use that whole of that 20,000 naira to buy the material. But once you are done using it, it's still part of you. Sister Clare, make this cake for me. How much? 25,000 naira. Maybe it's 10,000 you now use to buy things you need for our own cake. Because the money Sister Uche gave you, the previous one, you've used it to buy some things. So you don't need to have so much capital to do it. I don't need to go and rent one big shop. Your house. My sewing house, I just rented it. I've been using, when I started, I was using my sitting room. Sometimes I'll move to my bedroom. From there, I was just changing position. I was in my sitting room. Even my student, when I had my student, we were using my sitting room. You are using my sitting room.
Oh,
I'll
God.
move to my room. From there, I'll move to children room. I'll just try to see which position, you
Work
understand,
best.
until I got a BQ, and now I moved to BQ.
Oh, determination.
You understand? I moved to BQ. I was using it. Or I've been sewing for the past 10 years. It was last year I just got a shop.
See?
So I was using my house.
This woman, you're just excellence. Okay, please let's take a musical break to resume in a few minutes. Don't touch that dial. Okay, so welcome back to Radio Maria, the voice of truth. We're still on Life Essential Talk, discussing empowering women through skills acquisition. So, Lady Stella, you have told us a whole lot. So, what other skill can one start, can one acquire with little capital, but still very profitable?
Profitable. um Let me say catering.
Okay.
Catering. I'm not saying you need to go and start in a very big way. In your little capacity, you can start baking. Confectionaries, small chops. With money people pay you, you will use it to start to buy some things you need. And makeup.
Okay, makeup is
Yes,
another one.
yes.
It is trending now.
And it's trending. Everybody wants to look good.
Yes.
So with little capital you can start. I'm not into makeup, but my niece, she's into makeup. So with little capital you can start your makeup business.
Yes. And it's yes, it's quite profitable. Okay, so which other one?
No, like I said, okay, confectionery, like small chops, you make puff puff, donuts, and all that. And then another skill you can start again with low capital. Hairdressing.
Okay.
Hairdressing. Of course. You can, what all you just need is to have maybe a small banner in front of your kids. Go and make your, you understand? And what do you need? If it is braiding, the person will bring her attachments and use it to make for her, and they'll pay you. You understand? If it is fixing, if it is wig, the person will pay you, and you use the person's money to go and buy the material you need. So with hairdressing, you need you need very little capital. So as you are growing, you are making your money and you are saving. Before you know it, you can now get a small shop if needs be. You get a small shop and you continue with what you are doing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You said something about photography. Do you know much about that?
Not really. I don't really know much about photography.
Or you think it's something a woman can go into?
Of course,
And it's
there are
like,
events here and there. In fact, what is trending now is birthday shoots. Anybody that wants to do birthday, if I thought you are not celebrating, you do birthday shoot. You get a photographer to do it for you.
yeah.
So it's also lucrative.
Yeah,
Very.
sometimes when I go for a program, not all the time anyway, those few times I normally see women, or when I say yes, I do see one, and it impresses me. I love that a lot because when you go out, you see men all over, snapping here and there. But whenever I see a woman, it can be very impressive. So I think it's something too that women can go into. So we are wrapping it up at this time. What advice can you give women?
First of all, prayer. Before you do anything, you put it in God's hand for God to take control. Psalm 127 verse 1 says, unless the Lord builds a house, the builder labors in vain. You tell God, you table it before God, this is what I want to do, and He will surely direct you.
Yes.
And like I said, find a mentor, a good one.
Very important.
You get a mentor, then you acquire, then be ready to accept. People will criticize you, like there's not anybody will say outside that will get into me.
That's
Because
nice.
because my husband, you cake will you know that kind of a thing. Cake your balance, you know that kind of a thing. So that really built me, because even you say, wow, this is lovely, I'll be waiting for my husband to see it, to tell me that wow. When he says wow, I say
Truly.
yes. So because of him, not to criticize me, I'll put in all my efforts.
Oh,